Well, hey, we are live. We are live, alive, and well. What is going on, people? How's everyone doing? Hope you're having a great day, wherever you are around the world. And my phone has decided to flash up low battery, which is always really good. And now I cannot tell if... There we go. Right. I think the live stream might have paused for a second then. I just had to make sure my phone was actually charging, even though I've got the cable in. But it decides actually it's not going to charge. So, what can you do, eh? But anyway, like I say, hope everyone's doing great wherever you are around the world. And I hope that your families are happy and healthy. Now, this isn't necessarily a Natter video per se, even though it probably will make it onto the Natter playlist, which is something I've been doing as of late, which is just simply setting up the camera and talking to my audience and things like that about various different subjects, mainly to do with biker culture and biker content. I do actually have another Natter video which I need to upload, which is to do with, you know, society and things like that. What's the downfall of society, and you know, I narrowed it down to social media and a lot of agendas in this day and age being pushed upon us through our phones, and that's how we are indoctrinated a lot of the time. And yeah, just basically like that. I might end up redoing it though, because I feel like there's some things in that I could go over better. I might even adapt it into this stream. You never know. But anyway, people, so I want to come clean with a couple of things, really. And it's nothing major, it's nothing like crazy. I'm not looking for attention, I'm not looking for this. It's just, it's content, and I'm going to put it out there, you know. I'm terrible for it. But yeah, I've hit a stage now where I am exhausted. Like, fully tired, and just tired, yeah, exhausted. That's the only way I can put it. So I've been, over the last couple of weeks, I have literally been just super tired all the time. Like, I go to work, I'm knackered. I get back from work, I got back from work yesterday, I was out like a light, you know, and just over the course of the last few days, I've just been super tired. And it's not like I'm going out partying, it's not like I'm doing drugs late into the night or anything like that. You know, it's not like I'm awake all night long. I thought there was an argument happening outside, they're just talking loudly. I was like, oh, more content. Sorry. Yeah, I've just hit a stage where I am tired all the time, and I was actually going to wake up. My plan, obviously, every morning is to wake up, go to work, do my graft at work, come back. But over the last couple of weeks, I've just been super fucking tired. So tired. Like, more than usual. Like, my job's pretty physically demanding, but as of late, it's been tougher. Like, tougher than normal. And I know it's not the work, it's my mindset, and it's burning me out, ultimately causing me to feel a little depressed. And it's all in the word, depressed, deep rest. That's what we need. When we feel like this, we need to recharge our batteries and just to crack on with what we need to do. And that's a stage where I'm at now. A lot of things have gone on and just built up with me. I'm not going to let it ruin or dictate my life, though. I'm not going to sit there and go, that is it. You know, I'm depressed now. I'm unhappy. That's it. Rah, I'm going to take antidepressants. Rah, I want attention. I want sympathy. Give me all the sympathy in the world. Like, no, fuck that. You know, right now, I'm doing this stream ultimately to, like, talk to the rest of the world to say, that's not the way you do things. Like, I'm hitting this point now. I'm knackered. I'm exhausted. I ain't one of these guys who is living in a rich manor in Barbados, right? Who is perfectly sound of mind, happy, content with their lives, trying to tell you how you can get out of your depression, how you can sort yourself out and all this stuff. Like, I'm not that guy. I'm not going to talk like that, because I feel like when I'm listening to those people, they're almost like trying to say to you, oh, well, it's obvious, you got to do this. And it's like, well, no, it's not obvious. And no, it is not something that should dictate the rest of your fucking life. Hell to the fuck no. You feel depressed, right? Like I do now. I feel depressed. I'm very unsatisfied with life, right? What has happened in the last few weeks in order for me to become depressed? Now, certain circumstances have happened. I'm not going to go into what they are, but circumstances have happened which have caused stress in my life, which of course, when we're stressed, we have an adrenaline rush, we're constantly on the go, our minds are all the time. Then after that, you hit a stage where it stopped being so mad because the problems have been sorted, but the sadness, the stress is still there. Like, our bodies don't come out of it like that. As soon as we're not thinking about stressful things anymore, it's not like our bodies do that straight away. We take time to recover, and through that recovery there is a spout of depression, and we get depressed. It's just, I'm a believer in that we can get depressed, but I don't necessarily say that that is depression. I think people move so quickly to that word, depression. I've got depression. No, I feel depressed now, but I've not got depression. That's what I want to... You got to make that identity between those two things. Like, depression is just where you've had that for months and it's become a bit of a problem now. You've got depression, right? You need to identify in your life what is going on and what you need to do. And that is it. It's not like it's that cut and dry. It's that simple. It takes a lot of meditating to figure out what it is that's going on. I noticed that a lot of depressed people, sometimes they don't want to identify what's going on. They would rather just sit on the sofa, say, I've got depression, and then cozy up in a blanket. Like, so some people are extremely comfortable with having depression and to use that as a kind of tool to say, it's fine, I've got depression. Like, you know, I ring up my work, you know, oh, I'm not coming in for the next week because I've got depression, you know. It's silly, you know. At that point, you're just making it worse, right? Our bodies go through the stressful thing, like I was saying before, our bodies go through that stressful time, and we need to have sufficient, healthy rest. We need to shut it off for a minute, right? Fuck it off, right? Have a slut day, as I call it, which is pyjama day. You don't go out anywhere, you don't do anything, you just literally watch a TV show, cozy up on your sofa and just chill out, having hot chocolates and whatever. Just give yourself that mental break, yeah? Then after that, right, you get back up and you fucking carry on. It's simple as that. It's simple as that. It sounds like I'm being harsh. It sounds like I'm having no sympathy whatsoever. But trust me, I'm going through this right now where I need sufficient, healthy rest to identify that my body has been stressed and now I need deep rest. Think of that rhyme all the time. My body has been stressed and now I need deep rest. Yeah? That's what you need. And, you know, I'm not talking down to you because, like I say, I'm going through this now. I'm going through this point now. So you can sit healthy, or not healthy, you can sit comfortably in your mind to know that this guy who I'm listening to right now, me, I am not one of these guys that is like got no depression trying to talk about depression. It's like single mates, right? You ever got your single friends, right? But they know all the advice on relationships, but yet they're single. You know, well, what do you know? Like, it's the same thing with depression. When I'm hearing these people talk about depression online, right, and they're talking about what you do if you're depressed, all the rest of it, and they're just like not depressed at all. They're perfectly fine, or they have a story 20 years ago. What they done I was depressed 20 years ago. Who fucking cares, man? Like, it was 20 years ago. What are you doing now? Like, what advice have you got now? Like, you know, but each person's different, eh? You know, we've all been through different experiences in life. We've all had different traumas and things like that, you know, which are valuable at the end of the day. Like, you know, just because you haven't seen someone die in a war zone does not mean you haven't got trauma. Trauma can be many different things. your missus can cheat on you. You can have a bad time on weed. You can fucking, I don't know. But there's all sorts of different traumas out there. It's not just necessarily you have to see someone fucking die in a war zone and you've got trauma. Like, that's a major trauma. But there's all these other little traumas that can happen that you just need to, you know, give yourself some time just to, you know, get over that shit and everything like that. But it's not mollycoddling. Like, I'm a biker, for fuck's sake. I don't mollycoddle. I just say it as it is and we just crack on. Hey, you know, I'm not the type of guy that's going to sit on a video and go, breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth. Even though that's a good technique, right? But I'm not here to offer that. I'm here to offer the reality check and just to say this is normal in life, right? This shit is what it's all about, to experience life. Welcome to life. It happens, you know? What are you going to do? Are you going to spend the rest of your one life that you have tucked in a little blanket in the corner, not doing anything? Just going, yeah, but it's fine, I got depression. Yeah, it's fine, I got depression. Like, stop wasting fucking time, bro. Like, sufficient healthy rest, right? Sufficient healthy deep rest, I should say. Not any of this other bull crap. Like, you know, and some people, they live with it on their shoulder all the time. You go out to a shop, I'm depressed. You guys, I'm depressed. Stop thinking about it. Stop thinking about that and actually focus on having fun in life, right? How are you going to do that? How do I do that? Because I can't stop thinking, oh, I can't just turn it off. No, you're damn right you can't just turn it off. But you need to start developing good memories. You need to start going out more, making memories. Because if you keep focusing on those past traumas, that's going to dominate your life for the rest of your days. For the rest of your days, that's going to be in your head, dominating. You need to go out, ride, walk the dog, go skiing, do whatever it is that you got to do. But have that healthy rest, then pick yourself back up, like I was saying before, and then go. Then go. Go and do your stuff. Do not sit in that pit for longer than is necessary. Give yourself that time, then carry on. Sounds harsh. It sounds harsh, but I know so many people that hit the point that I'm at now, give up. I've got depression, that's it. I've got depression, that's it. Don't brand yourself like that. Don't admit defeat like that. Like, too many people in this society, in this day and age, here we go, adopting that, what I was saying about society. Too many people in society, in this day and age, admit defeat too easily when it comes to mental health. They like to self-diagnose themselves straight away with a severe mental health disorder. Straight away. You can't self-diagnose yourself like that. You've got to really just find out if you're just feeling a little bit sad, feeling a little bit unsatisfied with life at the minute, till you find something that kickstarts you up a little bit. Like, I was feeling a bit unsatisfied with life a few weeks ago. Very unsatisfied. What did I do? I sat down, I binge-watched, had that healthy rest, I binge-watched biker movies, right? Therefore, it sparks my interest back in, like, you know, interest in motorcycles. I started feeling like I wasn't getting satisfied with my rides anymore, and then I watched that and I automatically wanted to go out and ride, you know, do something that's going to spark you back up again, feel that fire in your belly again and get back up on that horse and keep on going, you know. This isn't a new thing, but how people used to cope with it back in the days of old, ancient times, was probably pretty healthy. I'm not talking about drilling holes in someone's head. That was one of the things that people used to do in, like, the 1900s or something like that, wasn't it? Like, I think that was actually for battle fatigue, as they called it, which was actually PTSD. But they used to fucking drill holes in their head. And if you were depressed and you were just unsatisfied with life, you just weren't happy all the time, that was one of the things, they just drill a hole in your head. It's horrible. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what, like, even in the Bible, right? So I'm going to go into religious things now. So I'm a believer in God, I'm a Christian, yeah, accept the Lord Jesus as my Lord and Saviour. But people are always saying, like, these new things in science today, stuff to do with mental health. Oh, you know, they've just discovered this about depression, they've just discovered this about anxiety, they've just discovered this. Read that Bible, and it has all of that in there already. Literally, they knew about this stuff fucking thousands of years ago. They knew about it. They knew it. Like, it's God's a scientist. God made us. So this is what I always find funny when people try and use science and God to fight each other. Like, it's the same thing. God made the world, therefore God created science. So in my mind, whenever I sit there, because I'm at work and I'm listening to lectures all the time, I'm listening to people talk about science. Astronomy is one of my favourite subjects in science. I sit there and for me, it just proves it all the time. Like, even if like, people have tried to approach me with the evolution, oh, evolution, whatever they want to call it. Like, oh, that disproves Christianity. Well, how? Well, because it proved God didn't make humans. We come from, like, cells in the ocean. Well, where'd they come from? Oh, they came from, well, where'd that come from? Oh, that come from, well, where'd that come from? You're gonna hit a point where you just don't know. And it's the same. We've got scientists now, top of the range, paid millions and millions of pounds, right? And they've got all the state-of-the-art technology to find out all this evidence, and they still cannot find out where we come from. They still cannot find out, like, exactly, like, what kick-started this universe, right? And a lot of those scientists have now become, like, massively religious. Like, they have found sufficient evidence to say that God exists, whilst other scientists say that that evidence isn't backed up. But these scientists have gone from atheists to proper followers of God because they have gone, well, this is too perfect. Like, this was made, this was engineered, this world was engineered by a higher power. That's, straight up. And people laugh at that. People say, well, why is it impossible? Why is it impossible? Why is it that impossible to believe that there is some being that is so much strong, like, in a completely different dimension? Because dimensions exist. Science has already proved that there is such things as the first dimension, second dimension, third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension. There's so many other dimensions that science has also backed up that the fact that there are parallel universes. There's not just this universe, but there's other universes around. That's been backed up. All these things are impossible. Oh, they're not possible. They're not possible. Well, wormholes exist. People thought that they were a lie, but actually they exist. Toby, stop bloody biting your paws. Bloody hell, all the time, bruv. My dog just constantly just biting his paws all the time. Every bloody time I got a live on, you sit next to me, gets himself all comfortable, and starts biting away. And I can hear it out the corner of my ear, and I'm just like, please stop, please stop. And it's so distracting, but yeah. But yeah, like, going back onto that, like, wormholes were meant to be, they don't exist, they can't exist. There's no such thing as a portal that slingshots you across the universe, because a black hole takes things out of the universe, like, it sucks things out of reality, right? Like, you go through a black hole, there is no other side, you just disappear. That sounds like fairy tales, doesn't it? Yet they exist. Wormholes, I go back onto that. Sounds like things are fairy tales. A portal that teleports you. A portal that teleports you across the universe. Oh, that sounds... They exist. They exist. Look it up. There is no theory that's been proved. They exist. So there's things in this world that we can't quite explain, and we don't have to know everything. Just have faith. And that's the fundamental core of my belief, is that, yeah, there's things in this universe I can't explain. I put everything down to God, and that's that. So that's a little brief thing of like, maybe I've broken that thing of like, oh, but it sounds all like a fairy tale, doesn't it? Well, yeah, so did all these other things that science has proved. Like, they sound like fairy tales, don't they? Yet they exist. So, reality isn't all what it's set out to be. It's not so black and white. There's a lot of things out there that are strange, and we can't explain it. So, God is, well, he exists. Definitely 100%. One of the questions I got asked as well, which was, if God exists, then why is there no cure for cancer? And my response to this was, well, yeah, there is. There is a cure for cancer. Of course they got the cure for cancer. And they're like, well, no, they haven't. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. The governments and all the rest of it have got the cure for cancer. But chemotherapy and treatment for cancer gives companies more money to make for themselves. It's not going to be beneficial for them to, like, sell the cure, which is a one-time thing. Bang, you're cured of cancer. It's not going to be financially viable for them to sell the cure than it is for them to sell the treatment. If they sell the treatment, it's a constant flow of money. Yeah? Why do you think there's all this thing, like, about food? Like, oh, well, you know, there's this that can give you cancer, there's that can give you cancer, there's this that can give you cancer. Look at all the chemicals that are pumped into our body on a daily basis. Look at the chemicals that are in just your water tap. Like, there's so many chemicals, it's unreal. So many chemicals in that. Yeah, it probably gives you cancer. Why? So then they can start making some dosh. It's not God's fault, is it? God's gone, yeah, here's the cure, mate. And the government's gone, shh. I just shot the guy. Like, oh, let's create a car that's more eco-friendly is another one. Let's create a car that's more eco-friendly. So a guy comes up and says, yeah, I've got the designs for a car that runs on water. This could sort out everything. The ocean's rising up in place. We just pump the water out and fuel our cars with it. Yeah, fantastic, brilliant. Okay, let's see the designs. I remember learning about this in school. I remember going to a talk to say that there was a guy that had invented these designs for a car that could run on water. Do you know what happened to that guy? Suicide. Miraculously just dead. Why? What? Oh, but the world wants an eco-friendly. Why would they kill? Because electric cars cost more money. You still have to maintain them. You still have to charge them at a point, therefore funding the electricity companies. You still have to pay. It's a constant flow of money. If you could literally run a car on water, it would be deionized water, right? So deionized water is what you get from rain. Yeah, so you couldn't just go to the ocean, scoop out a jug full of water and put it in your car. No. It has to be deionized water. Well, you could do that at home very, very, very easily. You know, condensation, like, so if you've got a balloon or you got like this bowl of water, right? And it was hot, right? You boil it, the steam that comes up, and you put it into a pipe and it works, the steam works its way up into the fucking pipe and you got a little nozzle that comes out the other end into a separate jug and the water from the steam drips into that jug. The result that you have from that will be deionized water, right? And that is what you put into the car. So, you know, you could make that very easily at home. Of course, people would be literally fueling their cars for free. So the governments, the elites, whatever you want to call them, went, no. Oh, he killed himself. Like, do you know what I mean? Don't blame all this on God. Like, there's some powers that be out there. You're gonna watch that. Like, so, you know, and this guy was baffled when I said this. He was like, oh my days, I never thought of that. Yeah, God, we've got the cure for cancer. Don't you worry, we've got the cure for cancer. Why do you think all these high up rich people, rich, I'm talking the richer people up here, why do you think they never get cancer? They probably did. They probably got cancer. There you go, no more. I ain't got it anymore. But for us down here, we don't have the cure. We don't have anything like that. We're not privy to that. We don't have it. We're not allowed it. Because they can keep making that. That's what makes the world go round. That's why there won't be a nuclear war. They'll scare us with a nuclear war so that we can all be controlled like puppets. But there won't ever be one. Why? Because it will just be no one will win. No one will win. There'll be nothing more to control. Money will be worthless. There will be nothing more to control. So that's why there's not going to be a nuclear war. Because the elites, they won't allow it. They won't allow it. It will not happen. I do see we have some comments. So, there we go. Chantel says, "G'day, mate. How you going?" It could be worse, mate. He could be biting your nails for you. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, the dog. Fucking hell, man. He's mad. He's annoying. But I do love him to pieces. One thing it is though, right, that even though it's wet and it's cold outside, the humidity is still there. We need like a storm. Like we need a proper storm, because it still gets hot, man. Like I've got a towel next to me to just keep wiping my forehead just to sweat, man. Like crazy. But yeah, no, like going back onto the dog, yeah, he's a little munchkin, he is. He's getting better though, but he's just, yeah. He's settled in a bit more now. And Sebastian's suddenly been quiet. He's probably found some seed or something. Oh, I say that and he's just whistled. He's gone. Hey, did you work out the garbage bag stuff? Oh yeah. So, just to say that I was talking to Chantel yesterday, and I said that I didn't have any wet weather gear, and it was peeing it down outside. We've gone and had a hot spell in the UK, and now we've suddenly gone to having just torrential rain. And I said to Chantel on private message, just, "Oh fucking hell, I ain't got no wet weather gear," and she was like, "Oh, just cut a garbage bag out and just put that round you." And I was like, "What am I, a superhero called the Bin Man, whose #1 move is Trash Attack?" Like, cracked her right up, stitches. But yeah. Anyway, I have a story for everyone, which I was going to adopt into this live stream. I will be right back. Give me a second. There we go, it's a bit better. Blow me old nose, mate. But anyway, here's the story. I actually pre-recorded this on that's my dog. He's itching, and it sounds like someone knocking on the trailer door. Sorry, easy distracted there. So I pre-recorded this, me talking about this experience, me talking about this that happened to me, and I never put it out there because I was hot, I was bothered, and I could have told the story in a much better way than what I did. But now I'm just gonna do it raw and real, straight off the top of my head. So anyway, here we go. I actually had an experience. I don't know if anyone noticed. I know, well, in fact, I know that a few of you noticed. A few months ago, I ended up with a black eye and a cut lip. And everyone was asking me, what happened? What happened? Disagreement. Just had a disagreement. I had loads of people asking me what actually happened. I was like, oh, fuck it. So I thought, I'm just going to put it out there now. Months have passed since then. I'm going to put it out there, and yeah. I'm not going to mention any names, though, because, yeah. Privacy and all that jazz, but I will tell you the story. So, I moved up here with Matt, right? We came up here to have a fresh start, get away from our local county where we was living. A lot of people there were quite toxic, and we needed a fresh start. We needed just to be away from everyone, and that was that. So it was just me and him and our girlfriends up here at one time. Then they moved, the site owners, they moved to 2 other trailers over here. And in that side we had a chappie in there with his mate. And then in that side we had one guy, and he was the first guy that actually moved up here. When I'll just call him the neighbor, right? Because I don't want to say his name because it's privacy purposes. You know, I don't want to start spouting out people's names and things like that. You know, just keep this shit private. But you know, still tell the story anyway. So I just call him the neighbor. Well, when he first moved in, everything seemed fine. He was cool, and then it became apparent that he liked his drink. He liked to have a drink. When he had said drink, it was quite funny to see him a little bit drunk at times, stumbling around the yard. I thought it was pretty harmless. Then it became apparent that this was a little bit of a problem, because every time he would get drunk, it turned from being funny into him being quite rude, being quite angry a lot of the time. I used to go around and collect the electric money off of everyone. It was £50 per trailer. That's what me and the landlord had said, and that was what we had arranged. So £50 per trailer sounds pretty fair to me. You know, everyone pays £50 a month. That should be suffice for the electric. You know, it might go up more in winter time, but for the most part, £50 the electric. He refused to pay £50 on the electric. He said he was paying £20 a week. The £20 a week was... It never went on. In fact, I think it went on sometimes, but for the most part, I actually don't think that there was some weeks that he missed out on. I'm positive of that, but I never could keep up with it. I was working hard and stuff like that, so but I'm positive that he actually didn't put on £20 a week. I'm sure it was like £20 a month that he was ended up putting on. So we had that issue, and when I said to him, like, come on man, you need to put on the £50, he actually decided to accuse me of stealing. I was at work at the time. I was very, very, very angry. I was tired at work. I was working long hours. I was knackered beyond belief, right? And I had hit my limit with that. I said, how are you accusing me of stealing? I said, any money that you give me, you can see on the electric meter, it all goes on there. So I say, if you give me £50, and then you see £50 on the electric, how have I stolen that money? It just didn't make any sense in my mind. I was like, well, the proof's all there. You can see that I've put it on. And he insisted that I was pulling a fast one. I was like, well, how am I doing that? And anyway, I screamed and yelled at him via voice note, and next day he couldn't remember saying it. So I was like, okay, so you were drunk then. And these sorts of things would happen regularly, on your regular occasion. Like, he would say something to me, and then he would say that he had no memory of it. He couldn't remember saying these things, so it was like, fucking hell. Anyway, so after a while, he had this lady friend, girlfriend, right? And the first impression that I had of her was I arrived here with a friend of mine. We're on our motorcycles, and the first thing she tried to do was come up, hug me, and kiss me on the lips. I pulled away. It was the first time I ever met her. That was what she wanted to do, right? And I was like, hey man, like, come on, like, chill the fuck out. Like, don't touch me like that. What makes you think? It's funny how women, like, if a bloke done that to a woman, he'd be, oh, it's sex offender, all this. But if a woman does it to a man, makes him feel uncomfortable, well, oh, it's fine, it's overlooked, you know. It's one of those things, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm not talking about that right now, but, you know, note that down. Anyway, made me feel uncomfortable by doing that. I remember Tasha, turned around, she was at the kitchen window, she was just staring, death stare, this girl. I was like, oh, fucking hell. So I actually stayed inside, and my mate was just caught outside talking to the neighbour and his girl at the time. And I was like, oh, fucking hell, like, you know. And he was trying to get away from her, and then she just let herself into our trailer. This actually happened on frequent occasions, because she actually started living with him. Just like that, straight away, moved in, met her one day, and then next day she was, like, moved in. I was like, fucking hell. But she used to just let herself into our trailer. Like, literally just opened the door, let herself in. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, you know, this is our private space. You can't just let yourself into our house. Like, you know, I know we're in the same lot, but you can't just let yourself in. Like, what the fuck are you doing? She'd be pissed a lot of the time. all this shit, and I'm fucking hell. And then the first time I actually squared up to my neighbour was when because he's not my neighbour now, he got kicked off the site, but that will all become apparent in this story. But Tasha was outside by our washing shed, and he had actually come along and started being really fucking rude to her. And she came in, she wasn't happy about it, she was a bit rattled because it gets dark out there, and he just came up behind her and was like, this shed's a fucking mess. She was a bit like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, he was pissed up and everything like that. And so, yeah, like, you know, deep, it's heavy. And so I went out there and just confronted him straight away. I was like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Why are you talking to my missus rudely? And he was just like, the mess in that fucking... What? I'm going to him, what are you fucking talking about? Well, fucking electrical points aren't fucking working properly, it's all shit. I'm like, that's not my fucking issue, is it? Don't talk to my missus rudely like that. And he slams the door in my face. I'm like, oh, you fucking alcoholic cunt. And he opened the door, and goes, what? And I said, why are you giving me shit all the fucking time? Why are you fucking being so fucking rude all the time? I said, it's not on really, is it? And he goes, I'll give you shit. I'll give you fucking shit. I'll give you shit. And just squaring up to me like that. And I'm stood at the top of my step, and I'm ready just to boot him in the face. I put my boot back. I'm ready, like, come a bit closer. And he stopped. And I was like, you fucking cunt. Like, so I thought, oh, fuck's sake. Anyway, next day, nothing, you know, was fine, and didn't remember doing it, didn't remember saying any of it. I was drunk. Oh, okay, fucking, this is a fucking issue then, isn't it? Like, you know, and it was that the whole time. I was in conversation with my landlord about it, and said, I said to her many times, I'm not being fucking funny, I can't really live next door to this geezer anymore. Like, I'm hitting a limit here. Like, I can't do it. Matt was the same. Matt was exactly the same. He was just starting to have a lid full of it. One of the things that the neighbour actually did is he had an air rifle at one point, and he was shooting around the yard, hitting the fence, hitting things. He actually shot behind here. I used to keep my bikes behind here, and he shot towards my motorcycles and hit the stump next to my bikes. I went up to him and said, hey, if you want to shoot your air rifle, so I've got an air rifle target in the back garden. I said, you can use that all day long if you want to shoot your air rifles. But I said, do not shoot near my motorcycles, please. Please don't do that, man. Like, come on, be a little bit more respectful. And he was sober then. He was like, oh yeah, no worries. But he had this habit of shooting his air rifle around. So anyway, one day, Matt is in his trailer, and he hears the sound of what he thinks is an air rifle pellet hit his trailer. Now, there was multiple people outside, including the neighbour, and Matt instantaneously thought it was the neighbour because of the past things that had happened with the air rifle. And so Matt hopped up, because we were in a group chat. This was like a group chat for the lot. And we hopped on the group chat, and he hopped on the group chat, and started having a go at the neighbour. It actually turns out it wasn't the neighbour, it was someone else with a BB gun. And that all got sorted in the end of it. It was fine. But they were just messing around with the BB gun. And Matt honestly thought it was the neighbour, like, just... So Matt and him are just going at it in this group chat. Blah, 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 back and forth. And the neighbour just didn't let up. Like, Matt was just like, I just want to nip it in the bud now. Okay, turns out it wasn't the neighbour. I was like, okay, fair enough. And the neighbour just wanted to keep it going all the time. And since being with this woman that he was with, it just made him worse. Like, it made him so angry a lot of the time. He's fucking pissed. All the time, bro. And I was like, motherfucker, this guy's not letting up. It'd get to a point where Matt was just walking across the yard to his car to go to work, and the neighbour would open the door and start yelling abuse at him. At that point, it was like DEFCON 1, this guy. So Matt and myself are in my backyard, which is all closed off, all fenced off. We're just having a chill time, couple of bevies, having a good time. You know what I mean? You dig? He's sat near his trailer. He hears us having a good time in our backyard, which is closed off. He marches all the way around our trailer, comes round here, comes round the back there, and goes, you fucking think it's funny? I'm gonna kill you, I'll kill all of you, you cancer. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy's issue, man? Like, motherfucker. So I'm like, what's your issue, bro? And he's like, oh, he needs to go over his side of the lot and fucking stay there. I'm like, he's in my fucking yard. Like, this is my yard. This is a private fucking space. I'm not happy. I went, I know you're not fucking happy, mate. I know. But whatever. This is my yard. This is my fucking space. What gives you the right to come into the back of my fucking gaff and tell me who I can and cannot have in my fucking house? I was in that point. And Matt actually decided that he was going to go home that night. He decided that he had enough. He was going to go home. He hit his limit. He was just really sad. He was just he'd done. So he packed his car all full of his stuff, and he just went like that. Gone. I'm sat looking at the neighbour's trailer. I'm sat mad. I'm pissed. I'm angrier than a motherfucker right now. I am so mad, and I'm pacing up and down my trailer like a fucking tiger, right? Before it hits his kill. I'm gonna fuck this motherfucker up, I thought. I'm pacing up and down this trailer. I open the door. I go up to his door. Bang, bang, bang. He opens the door. What? His missus answers the door and goes, my dad's just died. I don't even know if it was gobbledygook. And I said, I don't give a shit. I'm here to talk to the fucking neighbour. No, my dad. I don't give a fuck. Where's your fucking neighbour? Where's the fucking neighbour? Like, and anyway, he comes to the door. And, he starts spitting in my face, doing all of this. I was like, what is your fucking issue? I said. He goes, you're a shit stirrer. You're a shit stirrer. I said, really? I'm not the one that goes around the fucking people's back gardens and starts fucking threatening to kill people. So what's your fucking issue? He's like, what's your problem? I said, I just fucking told you can. Stop asking me the same fucking question, you dickhead. Anyway, I had an empty bottle in my hand. I had it there just in case of anything. I didn't know how he was going to react to this or whatever. And he turns around and he heads back into his trailer, and his missus comes up to him like that, but there was a dark spot that I couldn't see. Next minute, he turns around. There is a knife. There is a knife, right? I'm not talking a little pen knife. I'm talking a fully fledged kitchen knife, right? He turns around and is pointed directly at me like he's going to stab me. This all happened like that. It was so quick, but I remained 10 steps ahead of him because my eyes went down because I, being someone who mental issues, I analysed everything, and I analysed his movement in his hand, and I turned around, he's got a knife and he's pointed directly at me. We're like that, he's just gone like that, like really quickly. And I have thrown this glass bottle, and it has scuffed the side of his face like that. Scuffed him. It didn't hit him. Because at that point, I saw that knife, I looked at what I had in my hand, and I thought, if I hit him with this, and smash it on his head, then he's drunk, he could drop the knife, I can get the knife away from him and restrain him and give him a couple of socks, just to, cool the guy down a little bit, you know what I mean? And, so I missed. I missed, and I thought at this point, fuck. So I took some steps back. Like, I was backing away from him. Like, I didn't give a fuck. I was backing away because at this point, I was like, the only way he's going to cause damage to me is if he's close to me. He has to be close to me in order to cause damage. If I can keep my distance, this guy is pissed as fuck. I can run circles around him to the point where he's a dizzy motherfucker, land one fatal kick, he drops the knife, I can get the knife away from him. That was kind of my mentality of thinking, but first off, I need to remain distant from this guy. I can't just leap on this guy. I had many friends tell me, in that situation, I should have leapt on him like that, what, with the knife poking out, just landed on it and fucked myself up. Like, what's that going to do, The only way I can avoid getting hurt by this is to not be near it. Because I don't want to get stabbed at this point, I don't give a fuck. I was backing away at that point. Not because I was scared, but I was freaked out, right? Okay, I'm not going to lie, I was pretty freaked out at seeing a knife. But, I wanted to keep that distance. So I was like, cool, okay, let's circle around a little bit. So I backed away, tried to get into an area where I knew I was kind of safe. But he had turned around and walked back into his trailer at that point. So other neighbours across the way, they decided to come out and all of this. I was talking to them, I was like, this motherfucker's just going around threatening people, and he can't even have a 1v1 with me in the backyard, in the yard. He has to, pull out a knife and stuff like that. So I was wanting to fight this guy, okay? I wanted to fight him. He upset my friend. This was months and months and months and months of just crap. At that point, I was like, I've got to stand up. I've got to fight this guy. I've got to fight him. Because, unfortunately, when you're nice to someone, and you turn the other cheek and you just keep ignoring it the whole time, right? It gets worse. You have to have a stage at some point when you have to confront something, when it gets that bad. Because that's where I messed up. I didn't lay down some ground rules. I didn't lay down my boundaries at that point. I was always really nice. I always conducted things really nicely, and a lot of heart, a lot of love, and all the rest of it at that point. But then it got to a point where he just thought I could walk all over me. He could be rude. He could be disrespectful. He could, fuck me around and stuff like that. That point and that mentality that I had at that point, it was like the tiger had come out, and the tiger was like, the tiger's got to lay down some ground rules right now. So anyway, he, like I said, he turned around, he went back into his trailer, and was chatting with some neighbours outside. His missus comes out, starts, and I'm thinking, oh, fucking hell. First off, I laugh about it, and she starts, I said, you're a fucking girl, go home, like, whatever, like, this isn't, at that point, it's a shit situation for a bloke to be in. Right now, I've learned my lesson from that, but it was my mentality of thinking it was a shit situation for me to be in, because I thought to myself, if I hit this girl out of self-defense or hurt her in some way, I will automatically be this horrible, bad guy. I will be this motherfucking woman-beating piece of shit, right? That was it. And that was my mentality of thinking. I'll be a woman beater. And I thought, fuck, what can I do? Before I'd even figured out what to do, whack! She caught me right across here. I thought, motherfucker, she's just hit me, like. But she'd done too, fair play to her. She went bang, bang, like that. Like, so I hit here and then hit here. So she cut my chin open and gave me a black eye. I thought, you motherfucker. So she's swinging left, right. I'm thinking, oh, fucking hell, here we go. So I'm doing this Agent Smith kind of shit. You know what I mean when I say Agent Smith? I'm trying to dodge these things. These things are coming. It's that drunken, like that. And it's that drunken shit all over the place. I'm like, motherfucker. She went to do a straight through punch, I remember that, and there was a point where I went like that, and she hit the gate, and she broke her knuckles, and she really fucking hurt herself doing that, and there was a couple of occasions where she actually missed, hit walls behind me and all the rest of it, but I thought, I cannot lay a finger on this woman, because I will be a woman beater, like, that's it, like, I will be a woman beater, so I just thought I just have to keep dodging until she knackers herself out, and then just go home. Anyway, so she stopped and walked back, and I started walking back home. I said, I'm fucking done with this is fucking gay. So she goes, where the fuck are you going? I said, I'm going home. She said, no you're not, you could just fucking go. And anyway, so she tries to swing a few more times, I dodge it, and anyway, these neighbours had obviously seen what was going on, they came over, they dragged, what the fuck are you doing, bitch, and all this shit to her, and I'm like, I'm just fucking like, at this point, I'm like, I just want to go home, I'm done with this bullshit, I'm done, whatever, and anyway, so, some more family come down from the road there, because I live on a traveller's site, I should have specified that. Some more families come down there, and they said, what the fuck is going on here? And she turns around and goes, Josh beat me up, ow, Josh beat me up, it really hurt. And I'm like, oh, you bitch. I thought, you fucking bitch. I thought, I fucking didn't touch you. And, they fucking, what was it? The family turns around and goes, oh, Josh has got a fucking bleeding lip. How'd it get like that? And the neighbour goes, he fell. I'm like, you fucking cunt. I was like, I didn't say anything. I said, yeah. She sucked me a few times. What do you want to do? Like, I said, you got your missus to fucking sort out the business, not me. Not you. So what do you want to do, mate? Yeah. You're a pussy, like, I should have hit her, like, the moment that she done 2 hits like that, I should have given her, bang, 1 back, just a thing, but, at the end of the day, that is, like, she was out to fucking hurt me, like, she was throwing punches at me, what do you want me to do, like, at that point now, I vowed to myself, I was walking back into my trailer, dripping with blood and shit like that, where she cut my fucking chin open, at that point, I vowed to myself that no other fucking woman is gonna fucking lay a finger on me like that, not now, not ever, no. That was humiliating. I thought, who the fuck made up that rule of, oh, if a woman's hurting you, never touch him, and I thought, what the fuck, like, I thought, motherfucker, like, I'm never going to let that happen again. It was humiliating. Who came up with that? Who came up with that rule? Why did I do that? You know, but hey, it is what it is. It happened. It's a learning curve, you know. It is what it is. Hang on, we've just seen a few comments there. I've seen your comment, Chantal. Packardine, equal rights versus equal fights. Yeah! yeah, man. I know that now. You know, it was shit. It was a shit experience. It was fucking crap, and I was, yeah. I now know in my mind that that's never gonna happen again. But I will read your comment in just a second, Chantal. I'll just round up the story. But anyway, so she's there, and like I said, she's like, "Oh, Josh, beat the fuck out of me." I was like, "You bitch, I never fucking touched you." And the travellers from across the road come across. No, they went, "No, that's fucking bullshit." And I turned around, and big blokes right away. No, that's bullshit. They go, and I turned around, looked at them, and he said, "Josh, even though he should have fucked that girl up," he said he didn't lay a finger on her. He just fucking stood there dodging it all. He said, "Fair fucking play," you know. He's a fucking gangster, I think one of them said, and I was like, I ain't no gangster, but you know, it is what it is. And they were like, you should have fucked her up, and I was like, but if I did, then you know, imagine if I'd done that, and then she'd gone, "Oh, Josh beat me up, Josh beat me up." She would have had a leg to stand on, and she would have been hurt. Like, you know, 27 years of fucking anger would have just come out then, and I can't let that out on a girl. You know what I mean? No. So yeah. Lucky. But anyway, so that evening was the most tensest evening of my life, right? Because obviously he pulled out a knife on me, didn't he? So I come back into my trailer, and Tasha's seen me. She didn't even know what was going on outside. The fucking girl, right, is watching telly, not even thinking maybe anything's going on. Of course, I come back in. She's like, "Oh, he's seen to the neighbour. He's seen to him." And I said no. Unfortunately, I said I wish this was off the neighbour. I said I would have taken that if it was off of like the neighbour. But I said, "Do you know what?" And I'd explained the story to her, and she goes, "Oh, that's fucking shit, man." I said, "And it just." I said, "I'm never gonna," as I said to her, "That's a vow, and no fucking girl's gonna ever touch me like that again, man. No. Ever, girl. I mean that. Like, I'm not bullshitting at that point. I made a vow, I stick to my vows. That is never gonna happen again. If a girl hits me just one time, punching, not just a slap. A slap, get away, you know, swatting away like a fly, go away. A punch? No, okay. As Dean said, equal rights, equal fights. You hit me, I'll hit you. What do you want me to do? Like, I'm not gonna ever hit a woman just of my own accord because I'm angry with them. Never. But if they are trying to fight me, then okay, it's on. If it's on, then it's on. All right. So that's a vow I've made, and that's one I'm gonna stick to. Like I said, it's the tensest night because I locked the door because I'm thinking, what if he comes in for like this? Because they were getting kicked off the site. Like they were getting kicked off the site at that point. The families were kicking them off. They don't care. They're going to kick them off. So I locked the door. No, sorry, Tasha locked the door. I'm loading my gun. Like I am ready to pop this motherfucker. Like I'm mad. So I'm loading my gun. Air rifle 22 caliber. It's the only thing I've got with range. It's the only thing I've got that will beat a knife, you know, distance. So 22 caliber rifle, air rifle. I'm sat there. I'm have it on my lap on the sofa. I've gone to bed. I've got it on the bed with me. I've got it by my side here. My hand never left the butt of that. I didn't sleep at all that night because I was thinking, what if they come in? What if they kick the door in and they trying to stab me, stab my missus and all the rest of it? I'm the man in this situation. I've got to fucking stand up and defend my missus. So what have I got around me that I can defend myself with? Oh, a gun. Nice. So, yeah, I had that thing next to me this whole time. And I was, yeah, I was nervous, man. I was mad nervous. I was worried that they was going to come in, smash the door open and start, you know, come in with knives and shit, but they didn't. And the next day, you know, it was all different the next day, of course, you know, and then it was all like, oh, it wasn't our fault. It was the next day after that, I'm sorry, it was like, oh, it's not our fault, we didn't do anything, oh, it's all other people's fault. It was narcissistic bullshit, bro. Like, you know, it was just, oh, it's not our fault, it was the neighbours across the way, it was their fault, it was them, it was all their fault. And I'm just saying, well, no, it wasn't, I did this of my own accord. No, it wasn't, I did this of my own accord. I kept saying to them. And then they were like, oh, no, but it was the neighbours across. I said, okay, it's their fucking fault then, whatever. Like, you know, they just did not want the blame on them at all, in any way, shape or form. No blame on them. I was like, motherfucker, you know, it is what it is, but, anyway, they got kicked off the site. He just basically did a disappearing act and went. And now, and now we have some really nice neighbours. Really, really, really good. And there's no shit like that happens now. Matt's gone. He moved away. He went back home. I cut it out. I stayed here. I was on the phone to the landlord and basically said, you know, I can't deal with this anymore, you know. So then I got to a point where I said, if he's not gone in the next month, I said, I'm fucking going, I can't deal with this. I said, you know, I've got other shit I need to sort out, I've got other shit I need to do, and I said, this is just fucking annoying me every time I come back. There was even a point where Tasha and I were sat down here on the sofa, and the neighbour and his missus had an argument, and he just walks right out there and starts smashing up her car. Not Tasha's car, but his missus's car. With an iron bar, bang, 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 smashing the windshield, smashing... What the fuck is going on? Like, you know, and all this shit. It was just, oh, it was awful. It was awful, man. Like, I'm okay in situations, right? Cool, whatever. I'm alright in those situations. But when they're outside of my home, if I see a fight on the street, I'm like, cool, walk straight through the fucking middle of it. Right? If I see someone fucking smashing up a car, which I have in my life, cool, I just walk right past it, nothing to do with me, you know. But if it's right outside my trailer, if it's right outside my house, and I'm in the middle of all of this shit, I get very uneasy. I don't like that. I don't like that stuff. So it fucks with me a little bit. Yeah, I want to live in a quiet place away from fucking... I don't like people, like, you know. I'm alright with some people, but my circles are very small. I'm not a very people-y person. Stinks. That's why I wear the gear, the Iron Cross, all the rest of it, because, yeah, biker. I don't like people. But anyway, let's read some of the comments in the comment section, because I'm sure there will be some. In my opinion, if you can't handle your alcohol, then don't drink. Yeah, well, in some cases it's not so cut and dry as that. You know, obviously the guy has some issues. You know, I'm a Christian, right? So I don't hate him. I pray for him. You know, he's obviously got some problems. He's got some traumas that have not been identified. He's a very upset individual. He's had some shit happen to him, and he's turned to the drink, and the drink has ultimately made him a bad person, or at least he was maybe a bit of a narcissistic person before, but the drink just enhances that, makes you super narcissistic or super angry. So yeah, I pray for him. I pray that he sorts himself out, you know. I pray that he comes to a realization that, you know, actually the way he's been living his life isn't exactly the greatest. I pray for that, you know. I don't wish anything bad happens to him. I don't wish anything like that at all. No, nothing. He's gone now, it's over. I'm not going to sit there and go, I hate him. Fuck that. Oh, if I see him on the street, I'm going to fuck him up and all this. No. If he comes to me, a different story. But, you know, I'm not going to go out my way and just fucking do that shit. Are you mad? I always have this saying. I prefer the fuck, not fight. Anyway, let's continue. You've also gone on to say, Chantel, if you should have called the cops. No, mate. Then had them removed sooner instead. Oh, no. I don't talk to police. No, I don't talk to police, man. No, I don't. You know, we sort stuff out ourselves, man. Like, There's only a few occasions where I'd call the cops. That's if my bike's got stolen, my bike's got vandalised, or my missus got fucking hurt in the street and I wasn't there to protect her. Or if our house got broken into and robbed. Yeah, those would be the only occasions I'd call the police. Because they don't do anything. For one, they don't do anything, right? They just don't. And you're better off sorting a lot of this social stuff out yourself. You get more results, and what with him being right next door as well, nah, you know, fuck that shit. You know, they're not gonna do anything. They're not gonna do anything. So, yeah, sort it out yourself. I don't know what, like, you know, I'm not gonna go running off to the police and things like that. So, you know, yeah. So that's no, well, yeah. So, police was out the question at that point. I agree. Also shed after Packardeen's comment, which is a brilliant comment. I don't know if I can like that or pin it or you've gone on to say, Chantel, I agree, if a woman hits a man then she can expect to get hit back and vice versa, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. I wouldn't necessarily say it's an eye for an eye, but you know, I think if a woman goes up and hits a man, that man has every right to defend himself, regardless of gender, regardless of sex, because at that point, you know, I'll always treat a woman like a lady, open the doors for them and stuff like that. I'm a very chivalrous person, right? But the moment you lay a finger on me and try and hit me like a man, okay, I'm going to treat you like a man. Boom. You know, that's what I vowed to do now. And that's going to be the case. If you decide to lay a finger on me, then you've lost all chivalrous rights. You've lost all rights for me to say, oh, you're a lady, I'm not going to... Nah, you've lost them rights now. It's on. So that's what I vowed to do now. And yeah, so that's it. And that's the story on why I had a black eye and a cut lip, which is annoying, but it is what it is. I was not expecting her to hit me, to be fair. I thought she was just coming out to yell at me some more, but then the, you know, 2 fists came flying out. Motherfucker, like... I laugh about it now. It's over. It's done and dusted. You know, I'm not gonna sit there and dwell on it and say, "Oh, it's so bad, isn't it?" You know, the world's a harsh place, man. That's why I became a biker. It just these types of experiences that happened to me, right, just enhanced me being a rebellious biker. Please do not lick your paw right next to me, like right in earshot. And that's why I'm a biker, because, you know, these experiences that keep happening to me just give me a reason to keep, you know, distant from people and keep away from society and all the rest of it. Like, cities, man, fuck that. Fuck that. Like, cities and all the rest of it, they're just shit. It's just shit. I honestly prefer the quietness and the solitude in the country, in the open fields or in the forests and the woods and stuff. Oh, take me there over a city any day. Like, we went to Cardiff one time. Super. We stayed in this fucking skyscraper. Oh, it was pretty much almost a fucking skyscraper almost. It was a hotel, and we was on like the 15th floor. 15th floor. I know there's buildings there that are much higher than that. And you know, just the 15th floor we were at. Top floor on this bloody room, and it was just, the room was nice, it was very spacious, but it just wasn't the greatest, man. Like, I just hate cities, man. I go out for a smoke, because I had to go all the way down the stairs, all the way outside, go for a smoke, because I fucking hate lifts, right? I'm not going to I can't stand them. It is what it is. I don't like lifts, and what? You know, and everyone else was using the lift. I was going down those stairs, all the way down 15 floors, motherfucker. I did it to myself, but yeah, no. I done it, and yeah, carried all the baggage up that way as well. Lucky I'm an individual that can get moving when he needs to. Poor Toby, how's he settled in? Yeah, no, he's settling in good. He's just nodding off next to me now. At least he's not biting his own paw, which is good. Really, really good. Yeah, he's settling in real nice, real good, which is good. And Pacadine says, out of courtesy, in the UK, is biker culture diverse in terms of cruisers won't ride with sport bikes, etc.? Very good question. Very, very good question. In a sense, there is that kind of separation. Except we do have like big group ride outs. Like there's some events and things like that you go to, and you know you'll have cruiser riders riding with sports bike riders, and 125ers will be in there. I'm a 125 rider. And that's simply because of the, you know, I would be on a bigger bike, except for in the UK, it's an extortionate amount of money to get your license. You are looking at about £2,000 to get yourself a big bike and your license and get on the road. And what with the cost of living over here in the UK, which is kind of a bit massive at the minute, it's huge. So you know, there's a hell of a lot of 125 riders at the minute. But yeah, no, that people do stick to their own guns. I did notice this in the bike nights, which is like I will always see the cruiser riders will be together. You have the sport bike riders together, and then you'll have the 125 riders, my lot, together. Just there is that separation. You do kind of stick to your own guns there. So yeah, no, it is very much like that to a degree. But we do, like I say, we do all ride out together and stuff like that, so. Are you a rider yourself, Pacadine? I think it's Dean. D-E-A-N. That's Dean, isn't it? Excuse my dyslexia. Oh. That's the same here in Australia, mate. Yeah, no. I know the Australia... Oh, Australia, mate. Fucking hell. What is going on down there? Right, what is going on down there? Why are you guys banning club patches now? I've heard all sorts from your neck of the woods. Yeah, their clubs can't wear patches now. They've all been banned, and it's all a criminal offence now. If you wear a back patch, it's a massive criminal offence now. So, what's going on down there, Chantel? What are you doing? Is it bad? I know it's pretty bad, isn't it? Because you guys had that not event, that situation, didn't you? Where there was the Father's Day shooting, wasn't there, between the Banditos and the Comanchero Motorcycle Club, wasn't there? There was actually, they made a film on that, didn't they? That's probably, yeah, was it? Because it's like, I know in other countries such as New Zealand and Australia that it's a fucking different world over there. Like over here in the UK, we have the odd thing that happens that you see in the news of a bikie club versing another bikie club, and there's a killing. But I know in like New Zealand and Australia and America that it's very, very different. There's a lot of beef and danger to being in a club. In the UK, it's very, very different. We're like the most watched country in the world or something. I think it's like 10 CCTV cameras for every one person in this country, so... let's have a gander. So she's... Lol, you say, Chantel. That's the stupid government for you, mate, lol. Pacadine says... Yeah, we actually spoke a few months ago while you were out riding. I was the American who stopped and asked questions. Ride a Vulcan. Really? Hang on, wait a minute. Oh, yes, I do remember you. Important. Yes. Oh, man, how's it going? Nice. You've actually hopped on. Nice. Brilliant. No, I was trying to rack my brain then, something Chronicle. Yeah, no, man. Awesome. Yeah. No, I know who you are now. Oh, Mint. No, I'm really taken back you've actually come to the YouTube and spoke. Oh, peace out. Peace to you, man. Brilliant. Nice. Chantel says, yeah, they reckon all bike clubs are bad. and they are trying to shut a lot of them down over here. Yeah, I know that for a fact, yeah, man. They are, yeah, I know they're trying to shut that, yeah, all down and everything like that. Like I say, it's a different world in it, so, yeah. Packardine, I think I added you as a friend on Facebook, didn't I? I'm sure I added you as a friend, and you, I'm positive you accepted my, my request. Anyway, my Facebook account actually got banned because of, well, I was in the mongrel mob, but I left there for reasons and stuff. So yeah, but anyway, because I was in the mongrel mob and it had the logo and stuff on my Facebook, it the Facebook AI decided to ban me and everything like that. So I'm actually on a new Facebook account at the minute called Josh Halliday. So I don't know if Packardine is actually your name. I will try and type that in later, but feel free to send me a friend's request or a message, because I'm not too sure if my account's like one of those private ones that you can't send a request to. But feel free to send me a request, man, and, you know, chinwag away. I'm actually really taken back that Packardine is it's amazing who you meet, isn't it? And I just whack on the old YouTube. Yeah, subscribe to the YouTube, man. Like, and then you're on here. That's mint. Yeah. Yeah, so don't think I blocked you or anything, Packardine. Honestly, I had so many people like messaging my missus going, "Oh, why has Josh blocked me?" And I'm, "Oh no, my account's just been banned." I'm on a hardcore gaming sesh as well, and Tasha had like loads of messages of, and she's like, "Why is everyone thinking you're blocking them?" I'm like, "What?" I grabbed my phone, looked at it, and I was like, "Oh, mother, I've been banned." That's what Facebook's doing a lot. A lot of people in clubs now are being banned, and I think there's a lot of things at the minute with clubs, and they're saying like no social media presence at the minute, which is a rule that they're implementing in so that yeah, they're just not getting the stick from that. But yeah, no, it's a crazy old world out there, isn't it? We've spoken about all sorts in this. I think this stream's been about an hour and like 10 minutes or 12 minutes or something like that. It's the longest stream I've ever done. But yeah, no, first off we started talking about like mental states and like depression and stuff like that, and then we started talking about God, and then we started talking about bikes, and then we started talking about how I got a black eye. Yeah. Crazy old world, isn't it? You know, since leaving the village, because I don't know if anyone knows, I grew up in a village in the UK, and the village life is like completely different to anything else outside, right? When you're in that village, you are literally confined to that village. Like, there's nothing else around. I went to the village school, went to the village church, went to parties at the village hall. Everything was all done in the village. And, you know, I was laughing about this with my father, actually, who I'm in conversation with again now. I'm actually laughing with him about this and telling him that the story on how I got a black eye, and he was, I turned around to him and I said, yeah, it's a funny old world, isn't it? You know, outside the village is a harsh old place, and and yeah, but it is. It's crazy. You know, it's sometimes I think it must have been quite nice being in the well, not must have been quite nice. I think back to how it was nice in the village, being away from all of that chaos, all that crap. And because I was so insistent, I wanted to see more. I wanted to be out there and ride around and see things that, you know, then look what happened to me. Like, traumatized rider. When you say village, what kind of population you talking about? What do you mean, what kind of population? Like, what, like, how many people we talking, like, in the village? If that's the question, then... wow. We are probably talking maybe 200. Maybe. Maybe even less than that. I'm trying to think now. There's me. I'm trying to picture every house and trying to think. We'll just go with around about 200, but it can't be much more than that. Or if it is, it's like how many people live there. Yeah. We'll go with like 200. We're talking like it was very, very small amounts of people, man. Hardly any. Hardly any. Very, very small. I wonder if that's an internet question that I can actually ask. Is my other phone working? No, it's dead. I wonder if that's a question. I wonder if the internet will give me an answer for that. If I give them, because I won't say the name of where I lived, because yeah, I've obviously got relatives that still live there, but yeah, like I wonder if that's a question that I can ask Google, and I wonder if Google will give me an answer, because I know you can do that with cities. I don't know if it'll do it with villages though. Very small amounts of people. Like, you will see the same people every day. Like, I never left the village, man. Like, I was a sheep farmer there. Obviously, I got home educated, so I spent, it was like, I was paper boy there, everything. It was, never left the village, very rarely. The only time we ever left the village is when we went shopping. And even when I had my first 50cc motorcycle, I should say moped, literally, I would just go around the country lanes that I knew. I'd just go to the next village over, which was pretty much the same thing, and go to see my mates there. So yeah, like, you know, that was pretty much it. Like, it was, yeah, very, very small amounts of people. But yeah, like, mental. I think back to it all the time. I think back to, like, I wonder what I would have been like if I'd stayed. I wonder what I would have been like if I didn't leave. If I just stayed there and didn't, like, go out and meet people and do these things and end up joining a club. And, you know, I wonder what I would have been like, you know. Yeah, I mean, you can see what I was like. You just scroll down on the YouTube and see all my cult classic westerns. Someone described them as that the other day. Oh, it was amazing. He said, I said to him, have you seen any of my old western movies? He's like, yeah, man. I'm like, well, oh, fucking hell, I didn't realise you'd seen them. He's like, yeah, they're like the cult classics, mate. The cult classics. That's what they're going to be underneath a playlist, cult classics. We should add cult, as in, like, Cult 45 classics. Pagadine says, oh, wait, hang on, no, we've got a comment from Chantel, sorry. Do you want me to look it up, mate? You can do, Chantel. Like, see if it gives you an answer. You know where I used to live, so I won't announce it because obviously on the live stream, privacy and everything like that. But give it a Google, Chantel. We'll find out. And Packardine says, "Damn, that's crazy. I grew up in a town for 3,000. Wait, 3,000, but lived near a town of 42 during the summer, 17 in the winter. I'm so familiar with that small town feel." Yeah, no, like I say, man, you know, I think back to it all the time. It was nice, you know. I thought it was really bad at the time. I needed to get out. I needed to go see things. Chantal's known me ever since I was like 15. I'm now 27 now. Almost forgot that. I'm now 27 now, and so she's sort of seen that transformation of me, and like, going from this little village boy who used to make westerns in the woods, in the local woodlands, make these amazing stories. I'm not gonna diss my westerns. They're the dog's bollocks, man. Go and watch them, man. I watch back because it's like watching with fresh eyes, you know. I look back on the things I used to, I'm like, whoa, man, like, these are not bad, you know, like, got some more coming, so stay tuned for that. Going back to the old cult classic Josh. Chantel says, the amount of people who live there now is 581. Just looked it up for you, mate. Yeah, you have grown so much over these. It's 581. Really? Really? Oh, man, no, man. You sure you got the right place? You sure there's not another? It could be, you know. I don't know. Might be all the kids as well now. I don't know. I know that they... Oh, actually, wait, no, you could be right, actually, because they built some more houses just up the top of the village. You could be right there, Chantel, actually. So, yeah, no, that does make sense. And yes, sorry, just to respond to your last comment. Yeah, you have grown up so much over the years, mate. Yeah, well, I haven't really matured. Still got the brain of a freaking teenager, but that's something you don't ever want to lose, really, is it? You don't ever want to lose that, because, yeah, that's what makes it fun. Yeah, no, I can't say I've been out and seen it all, and I've got all the advice in the world, but, you know, I think I think I've got a fair amount of experience with things, and yeah, just seen a few things in my time, and that's why I ride. That's ultimately why I ride, man. Because like it is just that feeling of freedom. I don't know if you tuned into my my Easy Rider stream. I was talking about just having an Easy Rider mentality, which is kind of like what I am at the minute. I like to consider myself somewhat of an easy rider because, like, I have this mentality of, like, when I go out for a ride, I don't plan on where I'm going. I don't go, right, I'm going to go here and have a cup of tea at this cafe. No, I don't do that. I just go, right, north, south, east, west. Where do I want to go? Oh, we'll go west today. I'll just keep going west. And then I find, like, a pub or a cafe or a shop where I get some food and then find a hill somewhere or something, you know, and just do that, you know. I think that's quite a bikery thing to do, which is just to try and find a certain direction and go, which is what I mainly do now, like I say. Not. So I consider that an easy rider mentality. What's also very easy rider is he's going on a journey. My missus is just trying to call me, so I might have to draw this stream to a close, you know. What's also an easy rider mentality, sorry, is to go on a big road trip and wild camp it and all the rest of it. That's very easy rider mentality to have. So, Packardine and Chantel have said other things. Chantel, as long as when you do filming, you don't stick your ass out from behind the tree and use it as target practice. Yeah, I had this thing, right, for anyone that doesn't know. When I was filming, I would have my pistol in my hand and I'd be pretending to take cover behind the tree, except my backside would be poking out from behind the tree, and Chantel just noticed it the entire time. I was like, you fucking get your ass blown off, mate. Cult classics, mate. It's the cult classic take cover maneuver. Right. Packardine says, what's been your favourite place to ride? Where is your dream place to ride? Ooh, man. Okay, here we go. That's not something I can answer off the top of my head. My most favourite place I've been for a ride to was probably Brighton. We'll go with Brighton, which is a town on the south coast of England, and that was fun. That was really fun. I want to do it again, and Brighton holds a significant historical value for bikers and riders, because if you've ever heard of the Mods and Rockers, right? You'll know where I'm going with this, for anyone that knows. Type in Quadrophenia and watch that film, right? Quadrophenia is an album that was made by The Who, but it's also a film that was made by The Who, I think, as well. And it's a brilliant film. And yeah, it was you had these mods and rockers. Mods were on scooters, dressed in very flashy clothes. Rockers wore somewhat of what I'm wearing today, like leather jackets and all the rest of it. Don't know if you've ever seen the film The Wild One with Marlon Brando in it. That yeah, that's what the Rockers based themselves off of. And so we had these two different cultures in Britain, which there's a lot to it, but they hated each other. So they would go on the bank holiday weekends to places like Brighton or Weston-super-Mare or Bournemouth. And when they run into each other, there'd always be a scrap. So yeah, that's one of the places in Brighton. They called it the Battle of Agincourt because like mods at one side of the beach and the Rockers at the other side of the beach, they all rode up and they seen each other and they just charged each other on the beach. Just a massive brawl. It got that bad that they were even talking about bringing in the military, and it was like, yeah, deep. But yeah, watch the film Quadrophenia. I highly recommend it. That captures a lot of it. Dream place to ride. The dream place to ride. It's got to be Tombstone, Arizona, for obvious reasons. Yeah, Arizona, I reckon. Just being out in that desert. Yeah, man, I would ride to Tombstone. Absolutely, 100%. I expect it's a different world out there, though, you know, because when you ride in the UK, you only go, like, I think there's, like, maybe, like, a 10-mile stretch. Well, no, not even that. I'd probably say, like, 2-mile stretch where there's no houses, but then you'll always see a farmhouse or a town or a village or a city or somewhere. You know, the UK's, there's not really much barren land. But yeah, out there in I'd say Arizona, there's probably like vastness in the desert and stuff like that. And oh boy, if you break down, you're a long way from anywhere. But yeah, no, I go with that. I go Arizona would probably be my dream place to ride, I'd say. Absolutely 100%. Don't know if I'll ever do it though, because you know I'm not that fussed of going abroad, but also I have a great fear of aeroplanes. So yeah. I currently live in Utah, very similar landscape. You ever make your way out here, definitely hit me up. The canyons out here are insane. Oh man, tell you, add me up on Facebook, Josh Halliday. Add me up on Facebook and yeah, send me some pictures, man, of where you live. That'd be sick. I'd love to see that. Love to see that. That'd be epic. And I will. So yeah, make sure to send me that friends request. And if I do end up heading out to Utah, I will hit you up. Suddenly, I've just had a thought in my head. So Utah, isn't that like a UFO hotspot? I'm willing to that as well. Like I say about astronomy, I was talking about earlier on in the stream. Astronomy, yeah, man. So I'm well into the UFO scene as well. I'm a man of many hobbies, maybe interests. I have a lot of things that interest me. Utah. That's a desert. As you say, that's a similar landscape. So I think that's quite deserty, isn't it? But honestly, yeah, like I say, Packardine, send me that friends request because I'm probably gonna have to draw this stream to a close in a minute because my missus was trying to call me, and I'd probably best pick up because she might think I'm ignoring her. Don't want that, do we? That's it. Yes, it. That's. Wait, HALLID. Wait, that's the one. That's the one. That's the one. You'll see a picture of me with this helmet. Good old open face on my motorcycle. But I tell you which one's my most favourite helmet. I like wearing this one. Yeah, the old German. Yeah, all day, every day I'll wear that. But I remember wearing that when it was like, because I just got it in the post. I got it. When did I get that? A couple of years ago now. I got that in the post. I'd ordered it. I've always wanted one for ages, and I was like winter time when I got it, and I thought, sod it, I'm gonna wear it to work. So I wore it in like the middle of December. When I say I had icicles off my beard, I'm not even kidding. I genuinely had wind chimes off my beard from where the water, had hit me, and it had frozen all the way down. So when I turned up to work, I literally had an icicle beard. It was mental. And I thought, yeah, that's a summer thing, that. I thought that's not a winter thing, that's a summer thing. So yeah, I only wear that when it's excruciatingly hot. The open face, you know, I can get away with that in autumn, but it won't be long before it'll have to be the old full face helmet. Oh, I hate it. I actually, because I'm an all weathers rider, and I ride all year round, through rain, wind, snow. Honestly, I absolutely hate having to wrap up warm, and these thick leather jackets, thick trousers as well, thick boots. I just feel like a fucking astronaut. Like, as soon as I step out the door, I want to say that's one small step for man. Like, it's like, it's mad. But I hate it, but it has to be done. You know, because it certainly gets cold on those bikes. I remember one time I was woke up and I was struggling to find you, mate. Turns out there's a ton of Josh Hallidays in England. Oh man. Oh crap, how are we gonna do this? What is your name on Facebook then? Hold on. Let me write this down. If I try and find you, and I will get on that ASAP. Get out of the toilet, Toby. So I've got a piece of paper now. Yeah, it's a black and white picture of me with that helmet on. Piece of paper. That'll do. Out the way, Toby, man. Packardine. H-C-K-E-R-D-E-A-N. Right, I shall get on that. What is your profile picture? So I know what I'm looking out for. I'll delete those comments as well, just so it's like, you know, you don't get random trolls trying to send you a friend's request. But yeah, so once they're up, they'll be up. I think that's pretty much it. Like, don't forget to watch Quadrophenia as well, Packardine. And Chantel, if you have an interest in what Brighton's all about, then, yeah. Picture of my blonde little girl looking down my daughter. We'll give it a try. Let's see if I can't find you then. But I think we're going to have to end it at that. And I will catch up with you all next time on when I decide to go do a little live. Watch out, because the Cult Classic Westerns are coming back. I can't wait to start filming them again, honestly. I already done a kind of Western, but it wasn't really a cult classic. It was just like a, yeah, kind of like a different kind of feel Western. I don't really know how to, yeah. Stay safe, 2 wheels down. Absolutely, you too as well, Packardine. Nice to have you pop along on the channel. I was trying to figure out like who I was like American who I met in, and I just suddenly clicked in my head. I was like, oh, I remember. But yeah. Anyways, take it steady. I see we have 4 people who are watching. If you have not already subscribed, then please do so. That will be amazing. And I shall catch you all in the next one. Take it steady. Have a good one. Chantel says, "Say hi to Tasha for me, mate." So I always read the comments out in an Australian accent. And to everyone over there, and please stay safe and take care, mate. You too, Chantel. God bless you, and God bless all the rest of you. Have a good one.